Friends, my name is Mark and you're watching welcome welcome to Mark's welcome to Mark's Bible study. So happy to be with you. Videos we are adding at the same days as we are recording the videos. Mondays, Tuesdays, and the Thursdays. Sorry about that. We are going to talk about about the parable of the last sheep, my dear best friends. I'm sorry about the I'm sorry about the gagging thing, because something is going on with my stomach in the morning, and lots of things are going on, my dear friends. Lots of things. Lot of things are going on. Lot of things. I'm nervous about this moving thing, and it's just very hard for me because I'm not gonna see my friends anymore, and yeah, but I'm gonna make some new friends, so I'm gonna be real in be with. I'm gonna be very surrounded by very nice people. So, parable of the last sheep. I'm sorry for my gagging. Seriously, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Maybe because it's from coffee. I don't know. Maybe coffee is too strong for me. Yeah, I don't know. But this is my. But this is my. This is my rule to drink coffee in the morning to start functioning, to start my brain functioning and doing all those kinds of stuff. I'm sorry, I'm still a little. I am still a little, I am still a little. I am still a little. I am still a little. I am still a little in my dream, so forgive me about this. My brain is not functioning until 9:30 or something like this, or like 9:45, something like that. I don't know. Let's leave that alone, and let's get into our Bible study. So, parable of the lost sheep. Mm, parable of the lost sheep is really what Jesus is saying. That the parable of the lost sheep is about, if a man has 100 sheep and one of them wanders away, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others on the hills and go out to search for the one that is lost? And if he finds it, I tell you the truth, he will rejoice over it more than over 99 that didn't wander away. In the same way, it is not my heavenly Father's will that even one of these little ones should perish. So what did we understand about this? That it's about responsibility. right? It's about responsibility, being responsible for your own actions and being responsible for your for everything. Being responsible because uh, because it's all about you, my dear best friends. It's all about you. And sorry about that. I started the video like this, and I hate it. I hate doing that. Seriously. Stomach, just rest, okay? I wanna. Sorry about that. Seriously, I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm just doing this because my stomach is going around in the morning trying to digest my. trying to. Trying to digest my coffee, and it's just really hard for my stomach to digest my coffee. Seriously. It's not very easy that it's not very easy when you talk. It's not very easy when you talk in the morning and then you and then you and then you are trying to digest something and you are doing all those voices. It's not really easy to preach like that. Stop it. It's not really easy, my dear friends. Let's go back to the parable. Being responsible is very, very important. Everybody needs to be responsible for everybody needs to be responsible for his own actions, for her own actions, for your own actions, and for my actions. I need to be responsible for a lot of actions. That's what the that is what the parables. That's what the parable is about a shepherd not being responsible for the one sheep. So the thing is that if you are responsible for, you're trying to tell your child to be responsible for your own things, to not lose them, to not let them be taken away or something like this. You need to teach your children. About responsibility because when they grow up, you need to ask yourself, did I teach my child about responsibility? Did I teach my child about responsibility? That is the question that you should ask yourself. Did I told my children to be responsible for things that their things? Right? It's really important to be responsible for your own actions. Because if your action is the action that it happens, happened, like you didn't mean to do that, but it happened, then you need to take responsibility for your own actions. Sometimes you need to talk to 911, right? Sometimes you need to talk to 911, but 911 is just an emergency number. The emergency number about your responsibilities, it is your duty to explain the whole thing. Why is somebody not responsible? Why is somebody responsible for this action? Or somebody is responsible yeah, somebody's someone's someone's bad behavior or something like this. If you are getting bullied at school, for example, you are getting bullied at school, and your friend is responsible for you to protect you, right? A teacher is the one who is trying to protect you from a bully, and the bully is taking responsibility of his own actions, right? Not every time is like this. Not every time is like this, because because they didn't really understand me in Poland. I was bullied. I was not really treated really in a very nice way in Poland, because they didn't understand the way that autistic people were. That didn't understand the way that autistic people were functioning. So so they were treating me as I was normal, but I am not normal. They were lying to me. They were bullying me. They were punching me for no reason. My dear best friends, this is actually being responsible for your own actions, for your bad actions. That is actually what the heck is going on. I was responsible for my friendship with a lot of people. My dear friends, I was responsible for a lot of actions in front of people, and sometimes I was embarrassed. Sometimes I was happy. Sometimes I had to do the right thing. Sometimes I had to. Sometimes I had to. Sometimes I had to do something that I really didn't want to do. Here's the thing: if you are responsible for your own actions and you are taking the blame on yourself, then you are protecting your friend, because your friend can cover for you. Your friend can cover for you, but that doesn't mean you should cover for yourself, because you are responsible for your own action. You are responsible for your own action. Sometimes me getting bullied is their fault. That they were raised like this. That they are raised like this. That they didn't understand the thing about autism, so they were bullying me, right? So I was bullied at school. I was bullied, but they had to. Sorry about that. Come back to the thing. Yeah. Yep. Coming back to the thing about responsibility for your own actions. Anyway, the thing is that people, I cannot do my Bible study today. I cannot, because it's just I have problems with my stomach, and it just doesn't stop. I was yelling at my friends. I was yelling at my friends to stop bullying me. They were doing this over and over. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry. I was. That doesn't stop. That doesn't stop. I want to preach the good news of God's word, and the stomach is disturbing me. Stop. Now! God commands you to stop gagging, to stop having, to stop having gut problems. Because I need to preach the good news of God. I need to preach the good news. That's why I yelled on my stomach to stop doing that. So, coming back to a thing, I don't know where did I I don't know where did I took off. So the thing is about bullying is always their fault. It's always their fault. They are bullying me because they are taking the responsibility of their own actions. Teachers didn't care. Teachers didn't care. So why I should have called the police on those kids who are bullying me? Because kids don't go to jail, right? Kids don't go to jail. It's completely ridiculous that kids go to jail. They're too young for this, right? I was bullied by a teacher, and I was bullied by a teacher that she thought I beat her up, but I was trying to just get a key from my own shelf. It was a key that it was given to me from the it was a key given from the from some kind of a lady who was in charge of the who was in charge of the shelves when you put coats on, right? And I had to open this coat on, but the teacher blocked my way and took my key away. So I was not about to use my physical force to get that key back. But you know who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for this manner? Who is responsible for that bad behavior? The teacher. Right? The teacher is responsible for this bad behavior because she started it. Because she started it. If a teacher takes you a phone in class, that's her responsibility. That's my responsibility for this phone. This is my phone. And she stole my phone, so she is responsible for a crime that she did that. That she is responsible for this crime that she stole my phone in class in front of everybody. Embarrassing me in front of everybody. So should I call the cops? Yeah, I should call the cops. Right? This is what my life is supposed to be. Peaceful, merciful, not with alcoholics, not with strict teachers and bullying. But this is... I didn't choose that. My father had a problem. My teachers had a problem. My friends at school had a problem. That's what they choose. I didn't choose that. They are responsible for their own actions. This is criminal to choose a life for somebody behind somebody's back. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. My father, my grandparents, my friends in Poland, and my teachers were choosing the same thing. So blame on them. Blame on them. That's their responsibility for their own actions, for their own criminal actions, not me. I was not involved in that kind of a thing. I was treated like Michael Jackson. Think about Michael Jackson. Think about Michael Jackson. Blame Mr. Jackson that he was treating poorly his own son, his own youngest son, in front of everybody, in front of the mom and the brothers and the sisters. And guess what? Everybody hated him. Everybody hated Mr. Jackson because he was all about money. He was all about performing on the stage. He was not about family. He was about money. Freaking money. Blame Mr. Jackson. That's his responsibility. That's his responsibility. That's his responsibility. And that was not my fault that I was treated like Michael. Right? I didn't deserve that, for heaven's sake. I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve that my mom left away to the United States and I ran away to live with her. I didn't start that. My grandparents and my father started that. Oh yeah. That's his responsibility. That's his responsibility. And it's so hard to forgive other people who don't trust other people. Right? Those who don't trust, they cannot be trusted. You can trust God. I was praying all the time for I was praying all the time, get me out of that hell. Get me out of that hell. Get me out of those stupid get me out of those stupid therapy, because they were not helping me at all. Right? They were just those people were so stupid. Those people were so stupid. When I slam the table, they will all. When I even gonna say something, they were already yell at me. I hate that kind of a treatment. I don't like that kind of a treatment. And they are responsible for their own actions because some kind of a teacher accused a 12-year-old autistic innocent kid to the police that I beat her up, and I didn't. She accused me of that. And that's her fault. That's her freaking fault. To jest twoja wina. To jest twoja wina, nauczyciela. Mój ojciec i moja macocha, że ja byłem po prostu traktowany jak Michael Jackson. Pomyśl o Michaelu Jacksonie, moi drodzy przyjaciele. Pomyśl o Michaelu Jacksonie, jak on był traktowany. W ogóle mu się to nie należało. W ogóle. On chciał być muzykiem, on chciał performować na scenie. W ogóle mu się to nie należało. W ogóle. Pomyśl o Michaelu Jacksonie. Think about Michael Jackson, my dear friends. Think about Michael Jackson. That freaking Mrs. Brockman was treating me very poorly. Think about Michael Jackson. Think about Michael Jackson. Mrs. Brockman, you are behind bars right now. Like, what the hell? I didn't deserve that. She is taking everybody is taking the responsibility of his own actions. That is about being responsible for your own actions. If you do something wrong, you need to face the consequences. I was telling the example of my story, how I was treated like Michael like Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson is my favorite singer. I was thinking, I was like playing a role of Michael Jackson. I was just like playing a role of Michael Jackson. That I was not singing because I'm not a good singer. I mean, I was performing on the stage and still like Michael Jackson. Seriously, I didn't deserve that. Seriously, thank you so much for joining me in this wonderful Bible study. Please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, check out my other channels as well. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and subscribe, and always think about Michael Jackson's story before you treat your children poorly. Seriously. Okay, I will see you on Thursday. Bye.